Alright, what is going on, guys? Your boy ANEX here, bringing you guys my first ever Photoshop tutorial. This has been highly requested by my friends, so I decided to why not just start doing it. Now, this is the layout of the Adobe Photoshop CS6. So if you're using the CCs, I don't know, I never used it before, but I think is a lot similar. So you guys don't have to worry about like difference. But I never used CS5 and I think CS4 I did use it, I don't know, but it's basically the same thing. They just added a few more features to it, but yeah. So Photoshop is a pixel-based program that is different from Adobe Flash. Yeah, it's different from Flash because Flash is like vector-based, so you could zoom in as big, like the things you draw on the what do you call that? The workspace, you can zoom in as like big as you can, and it won't get like pixelated. But it's different in Photoshop. It is pixel based. It's different from the Flash. Flash I think is vector based, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But right now we're here at Photoshop, and at the left corner, at the left side here, you have all the tools that you're gonna need. Now, first thing first, before I start, in this tutorial I'm gonna be teaching you guys all the features about basic features about Photoshop that I think you should know, that I use a lot. Like, you use it a lot, I will teach you guys that, and maybe some shortcuts that you probably want to know. So yeah, so here's the tools. I already talked about that. Right there you got all the tabs, and the file is basically the file, is all the same thing. Now in image, in the edit part, you could do all those different stuff. It's just basically the same. And image, you could change, like adjust the image that you have, or change the image size, or all these different stuff. Layers, I don't know what the fuck, I never used this before, but just layers, Oh yeah, by the way, Photoshop is very important. You have to learn your layers. From the top one will cover up the bottom one, so you gotta be careful with that. Type just basically your text and all those stuff. Select is using the selection tools, and then you make selections, and then you could do all those different fancy stuff. And filter is just basically, you can do blur, destroy, all these different. It's basically the effects for Photoshop. Now 3D, I don't use this a lot because I already have Cinema 4D. What the fuck use this thing? So no one really used this, so you don't have to worry about that. Now view is basically changing all the overlay. You could switch them around. Like, you could set them back to like default or in screen mode. You could do it like standard screen mode and all those different stuff. And you could even do like the ruler thing. But before I get at that, and no one really used this help, so you guys don't have to take care of that. Now here you have all those different windows. I hardly use this. I just gonna give you guys a few that I use. You know what? Let's just create a new document, so it's easier to. You know what? Let me open something. Let's just open. Let's open this. This is a wallpaper that I made for my friend, and he really likes this style. You see, and I add in a little bit like Easter egg. You got a creeper right there. I don't know, hero barn right there, and then some slimes all over the place. So yeah, cool. Now the navigator is pretty much, you can navigate around your pictures. Let's say if I zoom in, and then it's really, and I felt this kind of annoying. You could just press H and to go to your hand tool, but when you try to drag it, it zooms out. Now it's not that I don't like it. It just sometimes it's very annoying to do. So yeah, I just use this navigator to drag around. It's pretty simple. So that is something you might need to use. And here you got the adjustment. You could change the contrast and brightness. So let's say if I boost the contrast up and then brightness down, you can see the difference, right? Yeah. Now every adjustment that you add here, it's gonna create a new adjustment layer. You can turn it off and turn it back on, all this different kind of stuff. I'm just gonna delete that. Let's just play around with hue. You could do like the hue thing, and you could change it into like different colors. It's pretty cool. Green, yellow, red. Oh shit, next time brown, all this different stuff. Yeah, it's kinda cool. Now you could change the saturation to like no color or boost up the color, but yeah, like this, just make it brighter or darker. So that's it. That's that. Now you got the layers right there. Let me delete this lock. Layers, you could do whatever you want. Let's say I want to add something. I want to add a text. So I select my text tool. Let it load. and let's say I want to type. Let's just type his name, and yeah, let's say, and then let's choose the font. I think I really like this font for this kind of design, and you could do, let's just say 20 pixel. It's too small. Let's just do 50. Too big. 30. That shit looks good. Okay, that shit looks good. Now you can just drag it wherever you want, right there. Let me change the color for a second. Hold on. Cool. All right. Now, you see, it's kind of overlapping. You know, it's kind of overlapping right there. But since this is already like a layer or some shit like that. Now, I just want to show you guys. You see, like when this is on top, it shows on top of the picture, the wallpaper or whatever. Now when I drag this at the back to the back of the layer, it's gone because you know this is like a full picture of the whole thing. So if I move this picture, you can actually see it's on the back. So that's just how simple it is. Now I'm just gonna delete this text. Now back in the filter part, you can add a lot of stuff in here. You can let's just say blur. I want to add a little bit cool blur, and you go, that's too much. You know, make it a little bit like a background, something like that. You could just add, and you could boost it up like that, but it's not gonna look too great. So you could do others, like, you know, all those different stuff. Basically, you just gotta play around with the programs. You know, you play around with the programs, and you learn a lot of stuff. Now here's the fun part. You could go to a filter gallery. It's basically like, you know, is like a preset. They combine like all the they like, you know, add all the filters in, and then they have all these presets for you guys, you know, cut out. You know, it looks great, but I just don't like it. Cancel that. Yeah, and most importantly, some shortcut you might want to learn. Let's say if I messed up, okay, just make it with brush. You could use the bracket to make them bigger. Let's say if I oh shit. Okay, let's say if I fucked up. Oh no. Oh no, I just drew on the fucking thing. How the fuck do I take it out? Pretty easy. You just Control Z. Now if you want to go, if you make like 2-step wrong like that, and maybe that, and then you want to go back, but you see, if you press like Control Z, it's gonna make it back, cause it's kind of like an order or something. You like undo it, and it'll like register as one of the process you did, and you just undo it, another like undo. It's basically double negative. Now to disable that, you just basically press like Control and Alt and Z, and then see, it's gone right now. And it's pretty cool. And you know, all these different tools is pretty cool. You could do like this is like the navigator tool. You could like move things around, and this is like the selection tool. If you want to like select a part and then add, and then like delete that part. Let's say if I want to do this part, and I'll just, you know, and delete. See, it's actually gone, so I don't want to do that. And here you got, I don't really use this thing. I don't even know. This is not that useful. So magic wand tool. You see is a drop down of like the quick selection tool, but magic wand is a lot better, trust me. Now magic wand tool is like basically like register like the colors and all this different stuff, and then you can just press in and like it like select the whole thing for you, and you can just delete that. But I don't want to do that. Yeah. Control D just do this deselect. Now this is the crop tool. You could, you know, crop it in like this, and now let's say if I just want this house, so let me crop it like this, but I don't really use this as much, so let's just say I cropped it, enter. There you go. It's that. Okay. And this is the color selection tool. Yeah. You just select the color you want, and then it will change it right here on the color pad. I don't even know what the fuck this is. I don't even use that. Now the brush tools, you're gonna use it a lot. Now right here, I think it's a bit laggy. I don't know why the fuck is not showing the. Usually it shows like hold on. Usually it shows like this, like a circle or whatever you have on your brush tool. But yeah, you could go inside. You could go to like you know, all this different kind of stuff. But brush tool is usually the usual things that you will use. And you see all those different brushes. You could just download them on the you know, website for free. And then this is the I think this is the, no, I don't use that snap thing. I don't use that either. the erasers. Erase part of the. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just, erase the place you want to erase. So the bucket tool, you can fill in parts. Like you can fill in like different parts. What the fuck is this? Blur tool. All right, blur tool is basically you could go from place to place and and then blur things out. See, it's getting blurred right there. The person's getting blurry, but it's kind of okay. But it's kind of slower. So if you want the whole thing to blur, just use the blur right there and filter. This is just for like small areas of blur, and you got the sharpen, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The pen tool, I'm actually gonna skip the sponge tool. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I never used that before. Now the pen tool, you could go up here and you could change to shape, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You just draw a shape. You could either delete the stroke and add feel like that, and all this different kind of stuff. And yeah. And also you could draw a path. You could draw like a pathway. Now you could draw a path like that, and then close in like this, and then selection. You could either like select it or mask out this part. Just mask this part out, and you could create like a shape with it. It's pretty useful. Now, don't think pen tool can only draw straight lines. They could draw curvy line by click and drag. Now, I actually have difficulties with this at the start, because actually, you see, when you just left out like this, and then you want to do another like a straight line, it starts you with the curvy line. Now, the way to fix that is just to hold Alt and press on the middle point here where you want your point to start, and that's basically it. Pretty easy. It is actually telling by doing that, like telling the program to start from that point, and instead of making a curved line, it actually makes a straight line. Now here you got all this different stuff. Free pen tool is basically like this, and then create like that, and free, and then add an active archer point. Just add and delete the points, and it's all that similar. And the text tools. Yes, text tool, just type in text and all this stuff. You could have these different kind of stuff. You like the vertical, horizontal, vertical type masks. You can mask things out and all those different kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. And path selection tools, all those different kind of stuff. And right here you got the rectangle tool. You can make a shape with it. You can make a path like that. It's pretty similar to the pen tool, except they give you like a shape, and then you can actually go through the drop down, and then do all those different kind of stuff. Right now I'm just gonna stick with the rectangle tool, and this is the layers. And since now we finished all the tools and all the explanatories and all those different kind of stuff, I'm just gonna show you guys a few. Actually, there's one more thing. You could go to the windows, you see, go to the history, and then you could just move back. It's pretty useful. So I usually use this. I usually just control Z. Sorry. Alright. You can add all this layer just in case if you accidentally close the layer window, and you could just add it by doing so. So it's pretty useful, I guess. Now a few shortcut. Control Z. I guess you guys already learned that before. Yep. Okay. And Control J is duplicating the layer. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah. Duplicating the layers. Sorry for the Facebook pop out. Control D is to deselect. You guys are I already told you guys that. Okay. Control D. Now Control L is to pop out the level. Now by doing so, it actually won't create an adjustment layer. It will only do this adjustment to the selected layer. So it's pretty useful in some cases. Now you could just drag it like that. So yeah. Now Control U is hue and saturation. Now the same thing happened here. It won't create an adjustment layer. It will just apply the adjustment to the layer that you are selected. And let me see what else. What else is important? I guess that's it. I mean this is just all the basics for Photoshop. You could learn. I'm planning to do more Photoshop tutorial if I have time. Right now school starts bullshit, so right there. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and hopefully you guys finally understand that Photoshop is not a so hard to use tool. Is actually pretty useful in some cases. So hopefully you guys learned something, and I will see you guys later. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace.